Welcome back to Dream World. This is your host, Dream, and today we'll be talking about a series of reoccurring dreams that I had over the course span of a few years of my life. So I want to preface this as I no longer have these reoccurring dreams, but I had these dreams at least 3 or 4 times before. And so I don't know what these dreams necessarily mean for me. So I'm hoping I can share with y'all. Y'all can give me like y'all little advice or what y'all know about dreams. I know dreams could also just mean a lot of things for a lot of different people. Like I said, they're recurring dreams, and I kind of feel like recurring dreams definitely mean something. And when you stop having those recurring dreams, it's either you accomplished something or you did something right, and so therefore the dreams are no longer hindering you or holding you back. Now, I'm going to go through 2 stories of recurring dreams that I have, and hopefully y'all enjoy. When I was younger, I always had fear of spiders and distasted snakes. But one night I had this vivid dream of what I would like to call a spider-snake apocalypse. And it's weird because you necessarily think of apocalypse as you think of apocalypse as being like a natural type thing, like this phenomenal where the planets align, or Mother Nature does something really weird and this sky opens up. But it was a combination of all that, in this dream. And like I said, I had a fear of spiders and snakes since a kid, and this fear is more of like an excitement fear. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I can watch them from a distance, but I can't get engaged in with them. I grew up just watching a lot of scary movies. Like one of my favorite scary movies is The Craft, and that scene where she's like covered in spiders and snakes and all the worms in the toilet and things like that. It's like gold to me. And as a kid, I was like, no, because I was having those nightmares. So it starts off at an apartment that I used to live in. The scenery is gray and misty. It looks like it is about to rain. And so I'm looking out the window and I'm observing that there's nobody's around. Like normally there'd be kids playing, adults outside, but there's nobody outside. So apparently there's this forecast that's been cast, and everybody's like inside and kind of like prepping for themselves. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna go outside because it seems like nobody's outside. I was alone. I go outside and I'm like, no one's outside because I'm like, I'm looking and it's all gray and misty. So I'm gonna go outside and see what's happening. And so it begins to rain, and it doesn't rain water, but it rains snakes and spiders. And as someone who has a phobia of snakes and spiders, I'm literally in this dream like bugging out. I'm tripping bad, So I begin to run. And just how in the rain, you see the rain and it accumulates, puddles accumulate, it builds up. And so I'm running, and there's these piles of snakes and piles of spiders, and sometimes there was just mixing up, and you're running in the tree, and the snake fall out the tree, or a spider fall out the tree, and it was just weird. I would go on to have these dreams at least like 3 times, and it always started off at this apartment complex I used to live in. I don't know what it was, but it was just this, I would like to call, like I said, the spider snake apocalypse, where it was literally nobody but me in these dreams, and the only thing I'm doing is running away from spiders and snakes, and they're everywhere. They're flying from the sky, they're coming out of like the walls, they're just doing a bunch of random stuff. And like I said, it was definitely a very nightmarish type experience for me. It's actually one of my favorite recurring dreams that I had throughout the years. And to be honest with you, I'm actually really upset that I no longer have these dreams anymore. But for the most part, I'm content with them. Like I said, recurring dreams happen for a reason, and when you definitely achieve something, whether you know it or not, it's like a blockage, so you get away from that situation. But I had fun with this recurring dream, and I will explain why. So it started off at this mansion, this house I had never been in whatsoever. It's this big white house, never been in it. Don't really know where I get this imagination from this mansion, but I'm at this mansion. And it's me and a few family members, a couple of cousins, a couple of aunties, and we all just kind of sitting around the table and we're talking. There's no chatting up, having a good little time. And I know what my auntie tells us to be inside for a certain time. And all my cousins look around like, okay, like what do you mean be inside for a certain time, And so just, just be respectful. We was like, all right, cool. We're gonna be inside. We're gonna be in the bed for a certain time. We're not gonna cause any harm, things like that. As you get older, you take, you want your peace and quiet. You want to be inside your bed. You want this and everything else. So we was like, all right, cool. We are blocked by that. Knowing us, we still kind of snuck out, and so we out on the property and we're like exploring this property. And as we get close to like this woodsy area, it gets darker and darker. And then you certainly hear like this rustling in this woods. And so we all kind of look at each other like, okay, what's happening? Like, we hear something, we don't see anything, but still it's dark. And out of nowhere, this creepy like flying guy comes flying out of like the woods directly towards us. And I'm like sitting there like, and we're like running away. We all take off in different directions. And the weird thing about it was, he had some powers. It wasn't like he was just flying. He was like jumping into like dimensions and pooping into like green dust, and then like coming up and picking you up and like dropping you off. And it's like he was having fun. And so we was like, and this part, it was like very, very like dreadful feeling for me, So we running and we trying to get away, and one by one, my cousins and everybody else getting picked off. And so I eventually managed to make it to this house, back into this mansion. My auntie, she's waiting for me, and she's like, I told you, don't go outside, don't go outside. Why would you not listen to me? Why not listen to us? Don't go outside. And she proceeds to tell me like, there has been this guy in this wood that they don't know how long he's been there for. They know he's not human, but he definitely like flies up, and at a certain time he wakes up. And if you're out there, he will catch you, and he likes to have fun. And his definition of fun is pretty much picking you up in the air and dropping you down and watching you just kind of like splat. And so she tells me that now that he sees you, he's gonna always come for you, because now it's a game, it's a fun thing for him. And so I'm in this dream, and I'm like, what the, and I'm panicking, like I'm really, really panicking at this moment. And I wake up. And like I said, it's a recurring dream. So another part to the dream was I always had to engage with this being at like certain parts and certain dreams that I had. It was like he was jumping between dreams. It was one time I was at one time I had a dream that me and my family went to like a swamp location, and for some strange reason we it got from I could sense this guy. Like I was talking about the sleep paralysis. It was the sense of sleep paralysis. It got from I was able to sense him. Like the whole tone of the dream went like completely dark. And I would tell my cousins, run, he's coming. And this dream became almost like my first lucid dream experience, because I was able to really sense this danger. And in real life, me sensing danger, I'm going to react to it. So in this dream, I'm sensing danger that feels real to me, so I'm reacting. And so I'm telling my cousins to run, and eventually we started fighting back. We started understanding the signs. Like, he would come out at night, he'll come out in the woods area, he'll come out in the swamp area. Like, there are certain areas that he will come out in, and you just have to avoid those areas. Like I said, I don't necessarily know what those recurring dreams meant and what that recurring dream meant specifically. But like I said, it was one of my favorite recurring dreams because it sparked like this fear in me. And I kind of like nightmares. Kind of don't mind being scared, but it eventually turned into a lucid dream, because at the end of the day, as I explained in sleep paralysis, you have two options when you're confronted with fear. You fight or you flight. So in this moment, I was used to flying and running and getting away because I'm in a dream and I'm going to do what's naturally come to me. But then after a while, I was like, forget this, I'm going to fight you. And I started fighting this demonic presence within this dream, or this dream demon, or whatever you want to call it. But I no longer have those dreams anymore. I no longer have to worry about going to sleep and having those dreams. I still do suffer from sleep paralysis, but that's a whole nother story, and I can probably explain a little bit more than the last video I had. I do have a lot more experiences with sleep paralysis. I do have a lot more other scary stories. So I definitely hope that you enjoy my run through of my scary stories and my nightmares and my personal experience with dealing with reoccurring dreams. And this has been Dream World. And until next time, y'all have a good day.